Alright guys, so I wanted to make a video on this Romanian Paratrooper Wasr 10. I got it mostly done. I think it pretty much is done. And I figured I would just kind of make a video on it showing what I've done to it, some of the upgrades I've done, and kind of talk about this gun. So I think we're going to go stock to muzzle, as I just made this video and I was all over the place, so I don't want to do that. So the first thing I did to this was I got rid of the Romanian wire folding stock and I put this Magpul stock on. And I did everything in plum because, believe it or not, I am a traditionalist and I do typically like wood and steel, but for this gun I wanted it to be practical, but and so I added the Magpul stuff. But I do, again, I mean, plum's kind of a traditional color if you know anything about AKs, so I just put this Zukov stock on instead. It makes it so much more comfortable. And you can see my optic I have on there. I don't need a cheek riser, and this stock still is stiff, but this stock is a side folder. If you do not know, does fold like so. Makes it a pretty short package, and that was the main reason I bought this gun. Moving up, I did a US palm grip on here, also in plum, and then we'll talk about this optic for a minute here. So I put a AK master mount on with a primary arms 3X prism, micro prism, and I absolutely love this optic. I'm a big fan of ACOGs. If you follow my channel at all, you know that I have a couple, and I have a video dedicated to ACOGs. However, I did not want to throw a $1,000 optic on this gun. So I got this, and I'm really glad I did, because I'll be honest with you, there's not a huge difference between this and an ACOG when you're looking through it. I mean, there's a difference, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say it's huge, and I really like this. I just leave it on. It has the shake awake, has the bullet drop compensator on it. Moving up here, I did put a Magpul Handguard on, a Magpul M-Lock vertical grip on, and I actually really like the vertical grip. It's small enough that it doesn't interfere with the mags at all, so which is nice. This here is just I think it's 1/4 inch fuel line. I've had this forever. There was a YouTuber back a few years ago that I was watching. I believe it was Tire Iron, and he had said that he bought 1/4 inch fuel line and he puts it on all his AK bolts. So I bought some and tried it a long time ago to a different AK, and I liked it. And I've still had that. I bought a section like this long of the fuel line, so I have some. It just gives you a better purchase. Honestly, I was just being cheap and didn't want to buy one of the extended metal bolt knobs. So this works just as good. And if it comes off, which it's not coming off, but if it does, it's whatever. It just comes off. It's not a big deal. I have here a Surefire G2X, and it's mounted on a BCM M-Lock mount, and it just mounts directly to the handguard. This is like a 600 lumen flashlight. They're like 60-70 bucks. At least that's what they were pre-COVID. I really don't know what they are now. One thing, since we're looking at it here, the iron sights here, if you get one of these rifles, the iron sights kind of do stink, just because of the short iron sight radius. So if you get one of these rifles, you may want to just consider running an optic on it. And the last thing I want to touch on is the barrel and the muzzle device here. So on Atlantic Firearms website, and just about anywhere else that sells these Paratroopers, it does not have the barrels listed as chrome lined. It just says they're cold hammer forged, Romanian barrels. But I did look at my barrel, and I also emailed Atlantic and Century, and I was able to see chrome lining inside this barrel, and I confirmed it with Century and Atlantic. Both of them said that it is a chrome lined barrel. So these do have chrome lined barrels in them. The muzzle device here, on a typical AK, the muzzle device would be butted up against the front sight post, and there would be a little detent. You can see the little hole for it, and it would click into the little hole. Obviously, this gun was meant to have the barrel chopped off right here and have the little detent and stuff in, but since we live in America and it has to have a 16-inch barrel, or you're filing paperwork, there's nothing to hold the muzzle device on it. You can see it comes loose. I would say after about 500 to 1,000 rounds, it'll come loose, if not before then. What I'm going to do is, I have Rockset coming. It's called Rockset muzzle adhesive. So there's two types of Rockset. First type of Rockset is just regular Rockset, and when you apply it, you tighten it down, and you have to add heat to get it to cure. If you buy Rockset muzzle adhesive, and I'll roll a picture in, it doesn't need heat. You just let it cure for like 24 hours or whatever. I'm not exactly sure. When I get the bottle, I'll read it and see. But I did think about upgrading the muzzle device to a upgrading the muzzle device. I decided not to, because the birdcage does a pretty good job at hiding flash, and I don't have a problem with AK recoil. I don't know. A lot of people complain about it. I don't have a problem. I did think about putting a muzzle device on, or I'm sorry, muzzle brake on, because I think they look cool, and it is a little flatter shooting, but this is going to be a defensive gun for me, and I don't want to be clacking rounds off inside of a building with a muzzle brake. And I think more people should think about that before they slap these muzzle devices on and say it's their go-to gun, because if something ever does happen and you have to use it inside, or you're running with somebody and you clap this off by their head with a muzzle brake on, you're going to make them go deaf. So the only other things that I didn't upgrade on this is the trigger and the safety here, which I may end up upgrading. It's just trying to not spend a ton of money on this, even though I already did, because the optic and the mount itself. But I may put an ALG trigger in, but this is a decent trigger. It's just a Century trigger. I did shoot this for groups, and I got about a 2-inch group with a flyer, which made the total group 4 inches if you count the flyer. But if you don't count the flyer, it's only 2 inches, and I think that's pretty good for an AK. Obviously, that's benched with the 3X micro prism. And I also thought about getting a extended safety, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't mind running the standard safety. My only issue with this safety is it's all but impossible to pull that off without taking your hand off the grip, coming up with your thumb and swiping it. Yes, I bent the crap out of this trying to get it to loosen up, and it's come a lot looser. I can swipe it on safe, no problem. It's just swiping it down. I think the detent might need just to have a couple millimeters taken off of it. I'm not sure. I'll look at that later. But as far as mags go, just running the basic US palm mags. These are steel lined. I have some of the Bulgarian steel new production mags. I have a lot of those, and I have a lot of the Bulgarian polymer mags with the steel lining as well. Those are all those mags are very good mags, and I have a bunch of surplus Romanian mags too. I don't use non-steel lined mags, and I don't suggest you do either. So if you want to get polymer mags, fine, but make sure they're steel lined. Anyways, if you have any questions, let me know. And I'll be making further update videos on this rifle and what I intend to do to this rifle. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good day.